Hey there YouTube, Nick Bean here. Today I'm going to do a bike check on my custom Santa Cruz Megatower. I've been riding the Santa Cruz Megatower platform for 2 years now, well since it's been launched. It's a great enduro racing bike. For this I had the Santa Cruz Hightower LT, which was a long travel version of the previous Hightower. I spend most of my time riding the Megatower just because in the south of France and where we race it tends to be pretty gnarly and it demands a bike with more travel. I also am a big fan of the mid-travel segment, so 140 to 150 travel bikes. Most of the winter I rode a Hightower, which was tons of fun. When it comes time to go into the bike park, riding chairlifts and riding the majority of downhill, for me, I appreciate having at least a bike that has 160 to 170 travel like the Megatower. This is a custom build, so it's not exactly what you would get when you bought one from the bike shop. But today I'm going to walk you through exactly what I have, what I don't have, what I like, and what I've chosen. Yeah. So I'll start off with the frame. It's pretty straightforward. It's a size large Santa Cruz Megatower CC frame. Has 160 mils of travel and a 170 mil fork on it. Along with that, I'm running the Santa Cruz Reserve 30 wheels. They're enduro racing carbon fiber wheels. Super high quality, probably the most robust wheels that I've ridden so far. For suspension right now, I have a RockShox Zeb Ultimate 170 mil travel, a RockShox Super Deluxe Ultimate Coil Shock custom tune inside, and a full XT group set. Along with that, I'm running Crank Brothers Mallet Enduro pedals and the full Tag Metals T1 cockpit suite. That includes Tag Metals aluminum bars. Mine are cut to 760. I quite like this width. I have a 35 mil stem. The diameter clamp on the stem and bars is 35 mil as well. I've got the Dyed Bro USA frame decal on there, protecting my frame, styling it up a bit. I figure I'm in Europe from the USA, I might as well represent while I'm out here. Along with that, I have a Tag Metals T1 170 mil dropper post, which has worked flawlessly throughout the season, and a Tag Metals T1 saddle. On to tire setup, I have a Maxxis DHR2 downhill casing. It's a test pilot tire on the back, which just means it's one of their prototype setups, and a Maxxis Assegai double down on the front. I really like this setup for wet conditions. Yeah, I really like the Assegai Minion setup for wet conditions. It offers tons of grip and really good consistency over all terrain. Inside my tires, I have the Essential Cushcore front and rear, the full non-XC, so the full Cushcore Pro setup, front and rear, as well as Cushcore valve. Cushcore for me is really essential, especially riding in a place like the south of France where there's really sharp rocks. I'm always trying to protect my rims and tires because I don't want to have any problems while I'm riding. I've got a Mudhugger Enduro Guard on there, keeping the drips out of my face. Extra touch on there too. I'm running some Avius hand guards. I'm not super glued to hand guards, but right now in the south of France, a lot of the trails are pretty overgrown, and here it's not just leaves hitting your hands, it's pokey bushes, you're getting bloody knuckles riding along. It's not fun, so I use them. Other quick things to note are my 203 rotors front and rear, and other than that I don't have anything too special on here. I have a Santa Cruz carbon water bottle cage, which is super nice. A few specifics for me: I run a 34 tooth chainring on a normal 12-speed cassette, the 51 tooth at its extreme. I run 25.5 psi in my front tire, 28.5 in the rear. Like I mentioned with Cushcore, it's really essential or else I'd be running more pressure. In my fork, the Zeb is a little bit different since it's such a big air cartridge. I actually put a lot less pressure in there and it comes out with a similar feeling as like a Lyric at 85 pounds. I actually run 65 pounds with 2 tokens. I originally tried 3 tokens because that's what I ran before on the Lyric, but on the Zeb it feels like way too rampy. And I really do like coil shocks in the back. It gives you really great small bump performance, and overall I don't feel like there's a sacrifice on the big hits, at least not for my riding. I run a 450 spring in the back. I weigh about 170, 175, and it feels pretty good for me. If anything, it's a touch light, but I like that feeling of being really glued to the ground. Yeah, and with that, my fork is a little bit stiffer than my shock, but I like that feeling of the bike riding, sitting down a little bit when you're riding. Other than that, pretty normal. This bike, if you were to go to a bike shop and straight out part out the custom parts, get something like a Zeb, which doesn't come with it, or the extra dropper post, the carbon wheel set, you'd be looking at about $9,000 to $10,000 out the door. Tax included might be even more, but for me a bike like this is absolutely worth it. It's incredibly solid. It'll do everything you want it to do, and it's basically a do-it-all for me. I can do anything from a long pedal kind of a more trail style ride, all the way to shuttling or doing bike park laps. In my opinion, if you were to have one bike and kind of rode the whole gamut of trails from trail bikes to full out bike park laps, I think a bike like this with 160, 170 travel is a really great sweet spot. Feel free to drop me any questions in the comments below. I will read and answer them all, so let me know. What do you think? Do you like it? Do you hate it? What would you change? What do you have on your bike? Let me know. If you made it this far in the video, thank you. You're awesome. It would be awesome if you could like the video to help this reach a bigger audience. I'm going to leave you with this sweet video that Jim Topless made of Brady Stone riding his Theory Racing Megatower in Zermatt. This is his 1 lap video.